Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So starting on these subframes now. I've just stripped them basically. They looked in a hell of a state, as you can see. And I thought, well, I probably won't be able to salvage the rear one. So they, again, like the rest of the car, they've used like an underseal on it. But look at the paintwork underneath. It's in really good order. So yeah, hopefully I should be able to salvage these. You can see even on the shaft there how clean it is. Yeah, so basically everything came off. I've had one bolt, which is basically this one here, which I ended up grinding off, and it's just spinning round and round and round. So I've got to address that problem. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get that bolt out by basically cutting it off, drilling it through, and I may have to go the next size up on a thread, so I might have to put a metric fine on it in that one, just to yeah, sort that thread out, because obviously by the time I get that out, the thread, I won't be able to put the standard UNF bolt back in there. So I've either got to do that or basically cut open into here and put a captive nut in, which is, I don't really want to do that. It'd be easier just to tap it out the next size up. So yeah, so anyway, I'll carry on cleaning these up and we'll see how they come out. Okay, so that's both the front and rear subframe all stripped. Bit of corrosion on the bottom there, but it's not too bad. Most of it's just surface. Other side's really good, as you can see. Front subframe. Yeah, I had to weld it. This was really bent at the front here. Someone's obviously, or the car's got stuck somewhere and someone snatched it out and it really pulled that cross member there. It was really twisted up. I mean, it was like literally 3-4 inches all twisted up. So, and it snapped off on both the sides there. So I've managed to beat that back into shape and then just re-welded it. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm not going to strip these, or I'm not going to get all the paint and corrosion off myself. I'm going to probably, I got a shot blaster just around the corner, so I'll take it off to the shot blaster and get him to shot blast it all. So it saves me a horrible job, because it takes hours and hours to try and strip these, and there's lots of little areas like in here. You just can't get in there. So yeah, he'll be able to get that with the shot blast. So that'll be that dealt with. So I just got to paint those. Just a warning, guys, if you're working on these brake components, especially on really old cars, some of this could contain asbestos, so just make sure you wear a dust mask. So this particular car is, I think it's 1973, so they were still using asbestos brake shoes, but then I think they used them probably just into early 80s. So yeah, so anything probably mid 80s onwards should be okay. Currently working on all the parts. So this is off the front subframe. You can see the hub there, so that's all completely stripped. Yeah, and that's been through a degreasing process, which is just a water-based one, and then I used a wire wheel on the bench grinder to get most of it off, and then just finish off with a drill and another little wire wheel to get all the little, you know, difficult areas. Now these are the back plates. Got most of it out. There's still a bit in there. You can see the same on the back, bit of corrosion on these, and there always is. But actually they're in, you know, really good condition for when you think how old the car is. You can still see the Lockheed stamp on there on the back plate. That's the same on both, so you know that they're all original and genuine ones. Yeah, so they've all come up pretty clean. So the next thing to do with these is they'll get a acid wash. Well, before they get the acid wash, they'll be use a solvent degreaser on them, and then there'll be a acid wash, and then they'll be thoroughly washed Then I'll buzz over them with either probably a piece of 80 grit paper, emery paper or something, just to key it back up and to get rid of any acid that might be on there, residue on the surface. And then I'll probably give it a final wash down with a solvent, degreaser, and then I'll give them some paint. Probably do a DTM on these. I've just got a 1k DTM. Yeah, I have 2k'd this sort of stuff in the past, so you know, I've gone through the process of using an epoxy primer on there and then going over the top with a 2-pack gloss. Yeah, so that's how I've done it in the past, but I think I'd be quite happy just with a 1-pack on these, to be honest. Yeah, so here's the second hub that I'm working on at the moment, and you can see how dirty and greasy they are when they start. So this, I just use a brush and just use a degreaser just to that gets most of it off actually. You can see how dirty the degreaser is now, but yeah, so that you can just buy that, the degreaser, at yeah, any auto store, straight out the container into a bucket. It is water based. Still advise you to use gloves, and because it's yeah, if it gets on your hands you can actually feel the detergent. It's just like a detergent basically. Yeah, so I'll wash this and then clean this one up, and then I'll start getting them ready for paint. Okay, so this is the state of the condition of the components before I start cleaning, and that's how they end up. Okay, so that's all the components painted for the front and rear subframe. So I didn't spray them, I just brushed them with just a 1k direct to metal paint. They're kind of, those kind of components doesn't really need a 2k paint on them, just get away with a 1k on them. Okay, so reassembly begins. So basically all the parts that I'd stripped are now all painted, ready for reassembly. Everything's all cleaned up. In there is for the front subframe, all the parts, all the nuts and bolts, washers, seals, the whole lot. I've already started putting this front hub here back together. I think that's the driver's side. Yeah, so I've managed to use the old bearings. They're in pretty good condition, so I've popped them back in. I'll just put new seals in there. So now I'm putting all my swivel pins on. So these have to be shimmed, various different shims, different sizes, thicknesses. So yeah, you have to play around with that till you get them quite stiff. Just make sure you torque this up between, I think it's 70 and 80 foot-pounds torque. You must torque it up because it will compress a wee bit, and if you don't torque it up properly and you kind of shim it and it feels good, when you do your final torque up, you'll find it will go too tight. So yeah, it's quite important that you torque it to check it. And the other thing I do, I haven't done it yet with this one, this is one I'm just started on, is I use a bit of grinding paste. So I actually just stick it on the underneath in here as I assemble it, and I literally spin it and whiz it around, because you can feel on here it's stiff in one position, look, and it's quite loose in others. So the idea is that it kind of beds the two surfaces together. So just do that for not very long, just literally you'll feel when it's right. Then take it all apart and make sure you clean everything, because if you leave any of this in there it will wear out in no time flat. So you make sure it's spotlessly clean before you reassembly. Yeah, grease it all up. You should get all your shimming right, and then you should be good to go. Okay, so this is a stage on that with the Mini. So most of it's masked off now, as you can see. I've just got the boot to go, so I'll get that all masked off, and then what I'll do is I'll key the whole thing up with 80 grit. There's a little bit of flash rust on there as well, so it really needs to go quick going over again with 80. Then I'll use my phosphoric acid wash that I always used over all the bare metal, and then I will 80 grit it again, and then prep sole the whole car, and then shoot some epoxy primer on it, or sorry, epoxy sealer. Okay, so I've DA'd all the areas that I could. So that's DA'd with 80 grit. So now what I'm going to do is going to go around and all the little areas where I can't get the DA, like in a roof gutter, I'm just going to literally whizzle on those just to get the acid residue off before I hit it with the epoxy. Okay guys, that's absolutely everything sanded, all prep ready. The last thing I've got to do to this is basically spray it with prep coat, and yeah, and just use a rag to clean rag to take that off, and then I can shoot the epoxy. Okay guys, so it's basically one coat of epoxy going onto the car. It's a very heavy coat, so the epoxy I use, you can lay it up to, I think it's 140 microns, so yeah, it does go on like toffee. Just really good for stuff like this. So it's only when you paint it you can see the imperfections, so you can see on that panel there it's going to be sorted out, but it's all yeah, it's all leveling work now. It's nice to get it in paint at last. So that'll protect the metal now. So I'll leave this for quite a number of days now for the epoxy, all the solvents to basically gas off, and then any areas where I've got to put in any filler for leveling work, that I'll key that back with 80 grit and then lay on the body filler. Okay guys, if you've made it this far in the video, big thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.